So chat, the Nord Stream gas pipeline, one of the most important sources of energy in Europe, has now been heavily damaged. It is spewing massive amounts of methane into the atmosphere. What a day. Holy shit.
Sabotage is thought to be behind 3 leaks in the Nord Stream natural gas pipelines connecting Russia to Europe. Gas bubbles have formed in the Baltic Sea off Denmark and Sweden. The Danish military has released these images of the gas bubbles. The leaks were first spotted on the radar of a passing ship. Denmark has since banned shipping from the area
this is the main one.
A no-fly zone. The Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines run from Russia to Germany. Neither is in operation, although both did contain pressurized gas. The Kremlin says it's extremely concerned about the leak. Now, Poland's Prime Minister has called it an act of sabotage without providing any evidence. And Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen says sabotage is indeed a possibility.
We cannot rule it out. It is too early to draw conclusions yet. But this is an extraordinary situation, an unusual situation. And there are 3 leaks, even with some distance between them. And that is why it's hard to imagine that what's happening is a coincidence.
Now, our political correspondent Thomas Barrett joins me now. Thomas, what are you hearing from the German government officially and maybe unofficially about these leaks?
They're saying one of the things that I read, chat, while we were looking at the Hurricane Ian stuff is that it's not like a typical leak that happens naturally, like a crack or some sort of like failure of the pipeline itself. It's gigantic holes.
The same line of caution that we heard from other European officials, that it's essentially too early to conclude what exactly is behind those leaks. But what we are hearing as well, not only here in Germany, but also from other European countries, is that the extent of the damage seems too large for it to be accidental or coincidental. And that's why you're hearing from officials saying that there's a possibility that this could have been an act of sabotage. But again, it is still too early to really conclude what was behind those leaks. There are crisis teams meeting in different...
Liz Truss is saying the pound crash is a leftist plot. Let's fucking go! Oh my God, give me that link. I need that. Oh my God. Liz Truss had to be convinced. Okay, we got so much happening. Oh my God.
Of Europe to try and understand what exactly happened and also what could be the impact, the political but also the economic impact of these leaks on the Nord Stream pipelines, the Nord Stream 1 and the Nord Stream 2 pipelines.
Now, how difficult would it be to attack these pipelines? I understand they're encased in concrete.
Well, you would essentially need to know first, Gerhard, if it was indeed an attack. Again, we're only speculating here, but there have been already analysis pointing to the fact that the extent of the damage would point, if it is an attack, to a state actor. But again, this is only speculation, and those crisis teams are trying to identify not only the extent of the damage. Some of the latest reports also point to possible explosions along the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, but also, again, what could be the impact of these damages, in particular for Europe's infrastructure when it comes to gas. That is also a particularly important...
Swedish seismologist says at least 100 kilograms of TNT used. Well, I mean, we have highly explosive. Jordan Lund, the Swedish seismologist. Okay, hold on. We'll watch this in a second.
Topic in Europe nowadays.
Now, does this leak, do these leaks have any measurable effect of the current energy supplies to Europe?
We've heard already from German officials, from the German economy minister, that energy supply is guaranteed. And that has to do with the fact that both pipelines were not in operation. Nord Stream 2 pipeline was never in operation, actually, and gas was flowing less and less from Nord Stream 1.
What's the effect of ocean life of that amount of gas? They die if they're in the fucking column of escaping gas? What do you think?
From that perspective, in the German case, Germany has in fact increased its gas reserves around 90-91%. So from that perspective, energy supply seems to be guaranteed. But there are obviously questions as to what all this means for Europe's vulnerability when it comes to these gas supplies in general, what it also means economically, what it means for the markets. So there are certainly, Gerhard, a lot of questions here as to what the potential impact of this might be, even though, as we're hearing from German officials, that energy supply is for now guaranteed and that the impact on this is certainly not as big as many would have feared maybe a few weeks or a few months ago.
Our political correspondent, Thomas Sparrow, there. Thank you, Thomas. Now let's bring in Michael Bloss. He's a member of the European Parliament for the German Green Party and part of the Committee on Industry, Research and Energy. Now, the Danish military has released videos showing the ocean bubbling. What more do you know about the exact situation right now?
I don't know much more. I think investigations are in place from the Danish side, from the Swedish side. And we have to see what they will find. I'm sure they will also go down with some robots and check the leaks. But yeah, as you just heard, sabotage is something that cannot be ruled out. I think it is but important to say that this will not have an impact on the German gas situation, because we do not get gas from Nord Stream 1 and 2 from Russia. These were closed down by Russia. So the effects on the German gas market is close to zero.
So who would benefit from such an attack? I mean, it doesn't look like any amateur could attack a concrete encased pipeline at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. There must be some state actors behind there.
Absolutely. It seems like that this is something that has been done in a very professional way, but it's too early to say who could be the one who did it. No, I mean.
So based on information that's being released right now that just dropped, this was 9 minutes ago. Nord Stream leaks caused by deliberate actions, Denmark's prime minister says. Leaks detected in Nord Stream gas pipelines clearly were caused by deliberate actions that could not have been the result of accidents, Denmark's prime minister said on Tuesday. It's now clear the assessment by authorities that these are deliberate actions. It was not an accident. There is no information yet to indicate who may be behind this action, he said, adding that authorities do not see the incidents as direct military threat against Denmark. Europe was investigating major leaks from 2 Russian pipelines that spewed gas into the Baltic Sea near Sweden and Denmark. Danish authorities assessed the damage was caused by blasts. He added that the size of the holes in the pipelines indicate that the leaks could not have been caused by an accident such as getting hit by an anchor. These are pictures from the Danish Air Force of the gas leaking out of the ocean, apparent from relatively high cruising altitude. And this is I believe this is a Polish member of the European Parliament who tweeted a couple hours ago, "Thank you, USA." Is this where the conspiracy that America did it came from? I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think that's a highly probable belief.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will.
Poland's president and the prime ministers of Poland and Denmark are inaugurating the new Baltic pipeline in this very moment. It will bring 10 billion cubic meters of Norwegian gas to Poland every year. Ironic that it's being opened on the same day that Nord Stream disappeared. I don't think at this point, it was a covert action, chat. It's probably unlikely that the U.S. is going to go out there and say, yep, we did it. Like, what do you want me to say? The U.S., Norway, Poland, and Denmark would benefit from it? I gotta say that I'm very, 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 very concerned, about the blasé way that people are approaching the conflict in Ukraine. and the Russian escalation, the mobilization in Russia, this is what it looks like on the ground.
Сразу говорю, возле костра сразу им пизда будет. Так, потом что? Спальники. Однозначно. Будете спать, где придется. Спальники однозначно. Плюс туристические коврики или замена. Ну поняли, да, все? Это все свое, мальчишки. Вам форму, все, что армия. Вам броню, вот это все, что касаемо военного. Этого ничего нет. Наших мужиков мы сами все укомплектовали. По медицине тоже. От срачки, то есть лапирамиды, перекись водорода обязательно. Жгуты. У меня на вас на всех жгутов не хватит. Мы мужиков...
Нету жгутов, собирал.
А?
Нету в аптеках жгутов, все, нет.
Родственники пусть. Аптечки, блядь, с этих, как его, автомобильные... Автомобильные аптечки потрошите, берите оттуда жгуты. Так, мужики, только не ржать. Жен, девушек, матерей просите, прокладки.
Сапоги?
Самые дешевые прокладки, плюс самые дешевые тампоны. Тампоны знаете для чего?
Нет. Кровь останавливает. Откуда?
Пулевое ранение, прям туда вводите и все. Он начинает разбухать и придавливать стенки. Мужики, я это еще с Чечни знаю. Прокладки обязательно, ну дешевенькие. Понятно? Вам туда все сгодится, сейчас сырая погода. У меня там мои друзья, мои товарищи. То есть вот эту всю информацию нам скидывают это. По возможности, ребята, то-то, то-то, этого, это, медицина. Мужики, сами о себе позаботьтесь, пожалуйста. Сразу говорю, возле костра сразу им пизда будет.
We're in a dire situation, chat. And anybody who's like, haha, yeah, let's have a long proxy war between Ukraine and Russia, that's cool, is bringing us ever closer to nuclear war. And you know, if you're an American and you're like, well, you know, Russians should pay a price for their country's aggressive war on Ukraine. I ask you, do you feel the same way about yourself and the American invasion of Iraq? Do you feel the same about what we've done to countless countries throughout the world? Do you think that you should pay the price? I speak Russian, and her tone of voice and word choice tells me contextually that she knows she's telling them some bullshit, but she has to tell the best thing she can think of to help them because she knows the government ain't gonna do it. Navy SEALs in the Baltic Islands doing exercise near the Nord Stream pipeline 1 and 2. This is some really bad shit, man. Some really bad shit.
Well, it's being called unprecedented damage to the Nord Stream pipelines in the Baltic Sea. They sit at the centre of what is this energy crisis between Russia and Europe. And the Danish Defence Command has just released this video of what it says are gas leaks from Nord Stream in the Baltic. A short time ago, Sweden told CNN that there have been 3 leaks found recently. Well, neither pipeline is currently pumping gas to the continent. Long-term disruption to Nord Stream 1 could be a headache for Europe. CNN's Claire Sebastian with more on this. Just explain what's going on here and why this could be such a headache, and let's call it that.
Well, it's already causing a bit of a headache, Becky, because European gas prices, which have been falling for about the last month, are now up almost CNN? 7% last time I looked. But what we're looking at is 3 separate leaks, 2 in the Nord Stream 1 pipeline and 1 in the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which never got off the ground.
That website was broken. Classic CNN. Classic CNN, I apologize. Well, we've got ourselves a situation of economic collapse, geopolitical crisis, out of control climate change, rising fascism. But hey, we still got hope. We still got hope. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.